Chapter 2. Europe, October 1970. 13 and a half months after Woodstock. I just landed. Glad that part of the trip is done. The Air Icelandic propeller plane has safely landed in Luxembourg, Europe. The flight from New York City was uneventful. Here I am now. A couple of days ago, I left my home in Oak Park, Michigan. My sister and her girlfriend dropped me off at the Detroit airport. I have my duffel bag, backpack loaded for my journey of wandering the world. Hopefully, I can sustain the rigors of the journey for a long time. Today is day number 1, and I'm ready to see the world. As I disembark the plane, I take my first steps on foreign soil, the great historic European continent. My friends and family back home have been calling me Stevie Woodstock Wanderer since last fall. This moniker seems to have stuck. I spent my whole senior year of college talking to anyone and everyone about Woodstock and wandering the world on the hippie trail, so I guess I've earned the Woodstock Wanderer moniker. But that was all talk and planning leading up to this. Now it's for real. Day number 1 of my globe-trotting wandering journey. Hallelujah. I'm going to learn some things about my soul from this experience. I will tap into the essence of my spirituality, at least I hope to anyway. I aim to be exceedingly free and to wander. From the looks of the people at the airport, I can sense that I'm stereotyped by others as an American hippie. My wild head of hair is a walking advertisement of that fact. I'm a stranger in a strange land. I left home with a meager $500, and I've already spent $236 of that because I was forced to purchase a return ticket to be used within a year by the Luxembourg authorities. So this unplanned expense up front has further depleted my funds. I will probably have to request some money to be wired to me from my brother before winter arrives. I take a taxi from the airport into town. The driver drops me off at a small hotel. I tried to find a youth hostel nearby, but there are no accommodations. My friends, Larry Glazer, had told me how important the hostels can be for conserving funds. He told me to always be looking for the student economy rate at hostels when traveling internationally. No such luck on the first day of my wandering journey. So I'm in Luxembourg for today and tomorrow. Then I've got to get moving on. Knock, knock. The door rattles. Bang, bang. The door shakes. Am I dreaming? Mister, it's time to go. I hear a woman's voice on the other side of my hotel room door. She pounds on the door again, harder this time, as she repeats herself, Mister, it's time to go. I hear the keys jangling in my door lock. I roll over in my bed and look at the alarm clock on the nightstand. It's 2 in the afternoon. I've got to get moving. The jet lag and the time change has me off balance. The door to the room opens and the cleaning lady enters. Time to go, mister, time to go. She claps her hands, urging me to get moving. Please leave the room. I'll be out of here in a few minutes, I say as I pull the bed sheets up to my chin. When the cleaning lady leaves, I immediately jump out of bed, throw on my clothes, use the bathroom, splash some water on my face, brush my teeth, and then load up my backpack. When I opened the door to exit the hotel room, I'm met by the cleaning lady again, standing in the doorway. It's all yours now, I say. Have a great day. Then I need to figure out how to get to the next country, Belgium. As I scurry down the hotel steps and out the lobby door into the main streets of tiny Luxembourg, I see the regular hustle and bustle of everyday life. Street vendors, people busy going to and fro, the steady street traffic. I continue walking down the sidewalk, my backpack on my back and my wild red hair blowing everywhere. As I near the outskirts of town, the sidewalk disappears as I continue walking on the side of the road. I stick my thumb out to hitchhike. Many motorists pass me by. Some of the bewildered looks I'm getting from the natives brand me with that stereotyped American hippie stare. I hope this isn't a sign of how things will always be on this wandering journey. We shall see. Finally, a big blue truck pulls to the side of the road. I run to catch up. As I walk over to the driver's side door, a big, beefy man emerges. His huge ham hand swallows mine in a handshake. "Hello, I'm Steve. Thank you for picking me up." The man speaks some Flemish mixed with French, but he mostly grunts and groans as he waves me to get in on the passenger side. We can't understand each other, but we can communicate through gestures, pointing, head nods, and a few words I can make out. He's a very friendly man who laughs and smiles a lot. I think I look funny to him because of my hair. His name is Henri, as he shows me a picture ID with his name as we continue down the road heading for Brussels. Just before the border, Henri pulls off the main road and heads to a little pub nearby. We go inside a small dive that only has a couple other customers. We each pull up a stool to the bar. He buys me a mug of beer and we have a drink together. Smiling, laughing, pointing, we communicate, mostly with our eyes and facial expressions. Henri is a generous, good-natured fellow. It's so surreal not being able to communicate with others through the English language, but we manage to communicate with more than just a spoken word. We each down our mug of beer. Then Henri motions to me to go. We leave the bar and get in Henri's truck to head for the Belgian border. I'm ready. We cross into Belgium without incident. Henri has a delivery to make outside of town, so he drops me off in downtown Brussels. I spend the day wandering through the town, street vendors, restaurants, little novelty shops, apartments, grocery stores, homes. By nightfall, I am whipped. I go to several hotels and a hostel with no luck. Everything is no vacancy. I keep walking and walking, the weight of my backpack starting to wear on me. I stroll along by a city park where I find a bench to sit down. I sit and relax here for a couple hours. It's getting late and very few people are about. Evening is setting in. I decide this is where I'm going to sleep tonight, on this park bench. I unroll my sleeping bag. Soon I'm nuzzled up for a good night's sleep out in the open air. It's chilly, but I'm warm in my sleeping bag. I drift off to sleep. Crack. I wake up in the middle of the night because something is falling on me. Crack. Something bounces off my head. Then another. I look up. I'm sleeping under a nut tree. A parade of nuts keep falling on me. I throw an extra shirt over my head as cushion and seal myself back up in my sleeping bag. The nuts keep falling, but I'm too tired to give it notice anymore. Back to sleep. In the morning I wake up, open my sleeping bag a bit. The cool chill in the air causes me to recoil back in my bag as I see my cold breath in the air. I sit up on the bench as an assortment of nuts falls from my body. I need to get ready to start moving on. It's still and quiet in the park, other than a few birds chirping and an occasional chipmunk or squirrel scurries away, nuts and mouth jam packed. I stretch and yawn as I uncover the rest of myself and step out of my sleeping bag. No people are around. I fold and pack my gear in my backpack and put my sandals on. I load up my pack and off I wander. I make my way through a slightly wooded trail that leads out of the small city park. I walk a couple blocks to a large boulevard that is the heart of the city of Brussels. Streetcars, pedestrians, stop-and-go traffic, and shops opening up for business. I see a sign for the train station. The arrow points down the boulevard, so I keep walking. Within a few minutes, I arrive at the entrance to the train station. The ticket window isn't open yet. I remove my backpack and set it on the ground next to a bench. I take a seat and wait. One other guy sits on a bench several feet from me. I nod my head and say, "Hello." The guy ignores me and looks away. Whatever. Then a few minutes pass and the man stands up and walks away. I can hear him mutter real low, slightly above a feigned whisper, "Fucking hippies." Some people are going to be a challenge on this trip, but I'm free and easy and can get along with all types of people. Peace, brother, my friend. The ticket window opens. I'm first in line. "One ticket to Amsterdam, please," I say as I slide some francs under the opening at the ticket window. The clerk at the counter slides me a ticket back. Destination? Sin City of the world. My train doesn't leave for another hour, so I settle back down on the bench. I reach into a side pocket of my backpack and pull out a journal diary notebook that I purchased in a small outdoor market shop in Luxembourg. I locate a pen in another compartment of my backpack. Now I'm ready. I flip open the journal cover and start penning my first words in memorializing my journey to come. Page 1. The Wanderer. I am a world wanderer amongst the earth's people. My aim is to spark a universal connection with my internal spiritual nature. I will advance my learning on cultures and peoples of the globe. I am a roamer, a vagabond, a nomad, a hermit being, seeking out a unique wandering experience to enrich my soul. More and more people start congregating around the ticket windows at the station. Sleepy dawn is now fully awake to greet a busy day. My train will soon be boarding, so I put my stuff away and reload my backpack on my body. I land up in the queue and make my way through to board the train to Amsterdam. No sooner am I settled in my seat by a window and the train starts to move. "All aboard," shouts the train man. "We are moving down the track at 7:30 in the morning." I'm excited to be finally entering the magic city I've read so much about. The Dutch countryside is so very foggy, and then suddenly a full shining sun peeks through in great streams, only to be choked back out by banks of fog once again. An amazing assortment of cows, many cows, roam the pasture, and some sheep and horses too, grazing everywhere. The Dutch are ecological geniuses. The farms fit right in with the small villages and cities, everything integrated with the landscape. Wow, what a short trip. We're here, Amsterdam, Netherlands. As I embark the train with my backpack slung over my shoulders, I survey a chaotic, pulsating freak scene emanating from all directions. I'm flipping out, and my heart is racing with adrenaline. Sin City is quite the throng of people everywhere. Many hippies roam the streets. Amsterdam is a haven for the counterculture, hippie movement. I start walking through the maze of streets, canals, little market stores, humanity moving in all directions everywhere, tourists, sailors, beautiful women, locals, prostitutes, and the ever-present hippie brethren. Canals are everywhere in Amsterdam. I'm going to take a short canal boat ride through the maze of canals. I take a seat and look out onto the waterway. The traffic on the canals is just as busy as the streets. We glide at a slithering pace as I wave to some people in a passing canal boat, and they wave back. This is cool. What a place to be. I motion to the boatman that I'm ready to disembark after 10 minutes of slowly gliding down the canal. He pulls the boat over to a nearby dock. I get out and start walking the streets of Amsterdam once again. I notice a lot of good-looking women in this town, walking about everywhere, many in groups. I yearn for some female companionship, but I'm not ready for that just yet. I'm beat. I need to get settled in somewhere and get caught up on my sleep so I have the energy to deal with this town. I'm loving this place. It's very intense and delightful to the senses. Amsterdam is a vibrant port. I notice groups of sailors all making their way down some narrow streets. I hear the crescendos of whooping and hollering and vulgar carrying on from the mass of shipmates. I decide to follow along to see what has all of them so jacked up. Within blocks of the port and train station is the famous red light district. It is legal for prostitutes to sell their services out in the open here. I've heard about it and read about it, but nothing compares to actually seeing and experiencing the vibes here. The hookers have rooms right on the street with picture storefront windows. I walk by window after window after window, gazing at the sexy women dancing and posing. I stop to view a lady of the night in her window, along with several rambunctious seamen. The beautiful buxom brunette plays to her audience. She wears a silky black see-through negligee that reveals her bra and panties as she stands and poses in her 3-inch black high-heel pumps. With her back to us, she bends over in front of all us men crowded at her window and looks between her legs at all of us as she gently pats her buttocks. All the guys cheer, hoot and holler, egging her on some more. I find myself joining in the cheer. The young lady of the night proceeds to take off her negligee. Now she stands before us in her window, wearing just a bra and panties. Her crowd of onlookers has increased exponentially, it seems, as I find myself squeezed in tight with the other fellas. The hooker has attracted a lineup of willing customers. The guy in the front of the line knocks on her door with the red light above and flashes his money. The lady of the night opens her door, takes the cash and counts it, then invites her new customer into her abode. I look in through the picture window and see her bedroom. The prostitute then closes her curtains and turns off her red light. She is busy at work right now. The crowd dissipate as guys look for new sights to see. I move on through the red light district, observing similar activities taking place throughout the area. I will not partake in this activity other than observing what I can. My funds are limited, and I just can't justify to myself paying to get laid. To each his own, I say. This city is liberating, very naughty, intense, and delightful. I decide to relax a bit and take a seat alongside a canal. I look down on the putrid green water, watching the shimmering, mirrored images of sky and trees. This city is exuberant, jolting to the senses, and truly alive with peopled activity everywhere. I continue walking through the city, looking for a place to rest my head and weary body. I finally arrive at a place called the Kabul Student Hotel. I approach the front desk. Hello, can you please let me know if you have a room I can get for a week or so? I'm a student in the States, USA. Yes, we have a bed in a room. We have to share a room. The men and women are in segregated rooms. It's 4 people to a room. Curfew is at 2 a.m. If you get locked out, the doors don't open back till 7 a.m., says the hotel clerk. What about bathrooms and showers, I ask. There's a community bathhouse on each floor, he says. Great, how much? In American money, that would be $1 a day, says the clerk. I pay up for a week and get my key. The rules around here make it too candy-ass, like I'm back in high school or something. But I can't beat the price. I can never afford to stay in a hotel room by myself. My funds would deplete real fast then. Besides, I like being around people, making new friends, and just having regular human companionship. This will be an interesting experience for me. I make my way to my room at the Kabul. I knock on the door, but nobody answers. I put the key in the lock and open the door. The room is empty of people, but I notice that 3 or 4 of the beds have someone's stuff on them. I zero in on the empty bed. I drop my backpack on the floor beside my bed as I fall onto the mattress. Totally beat from the travel, endless walking and lack of sleep, I'm unconscious in no time. Life is but a dream, and I'm living it. I wake up around noon the next day. My room is full of activity as I watch a couple of guys talk, but I can't make out what they're saying because the radio is at high volume and the door to the room is open. I see a lot of people moving about in the hallway. I sit up in my bed. I clear my throat. Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Steve. The 2 guys look at me, smile real big, and start laughing. I guess I'm the joke. Hey man, quite the hairdo you have there. Cool, man. Quite the spectacle. Is all that real? Oh yeah, I respond as I rake my fingers through my mane to fluff it back out after sleeping on it. Both guys laugh at me some more like silly giggles. What the hell, I laugh at myself with them. Hey Steve, my name is John and this is Joe, says one of the guys as he points at the other fellow sitting across from him at a round table with 4 chairs. I get up from the bed and walk over to them and offer my hand for a handshake. Joe and John are both long-haired hippie types in their early 20s like me. Yeah, man, cool look you have. Where you from? John and I are from New York, and the other guy, Joe points to a bed in the room, is from Canada, Calgary, I believe he mentioned, says Joe. That's right, agrees John. The Canadian's name is Jack. He's a fun guy. Lots of laughs. Said he went to Woodstock. No way, me too. What a blast it was, I retort. The music was amazing and the crowd was unbelievable. It just felt like I was a part of cultural history. You guys go too? No, man, we were out in California then, says Joe. Sure would have been nice to go, looking back in retrospect, but what the hell? We're here now in Amsterdam. Where are you from? Inquires John. I'm from Michigan. I just started my journey about a week ago. I plan on heading south through Spain and perhaps on to Morocco for the winter months. We're getting ready to head out on the town. Want to come along? Says John. No, man. Thanks for the invite, though. I'm still moving slow and feel sluggish right now. I need to use the bathroom and clean up and shower and brush my teeth. Then find something to eat. I'm going to take it easy on the extracurricular activities today. Okay, man. The bathroom and showers are down the hall on your right, says Joe. We'll see you around later, man. Thanks. I shake hands with the two guys and head down the hall. When I get back, the room is empty again. What a beautiful day for grooving on a Sunday afternoon. The song from the Young Rascals keeps playing in the memory banks of my mind as I wander along. Grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. I can't imagine anything that's better. The world's ours whenever we're together. There ain't a place I'd like to be instead of grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Doing anything we like to do. There's always lots of things we can see. We can be anyone we want to be. And all these happy people we could meet just grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. I walk on down many streets and canals I'm familiar with from my short venture yesterday. Eventually, I loop back around to my hotel where I find the bar and restaurant that many of the residents frequent. I sit by myself at a corner table and order a burger and a beer. After my lunch, I continue on another long walk through Amsterdam. I choose a different direction this time, away from the canals and congested population. After about an hour, I arrive at a beautiful park where there's a great pond with many ducks and a couple swans. I sit here for over 90 minutes by the grassy pond shoreline, absorbing the essence of nature as I meditate. What a genuine delight. Grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. It's already starting to become dusk. I lost a lot of my day sleeping in to catch up on my rest. It's time for me to make my trek back home to the Kabul. I have these nagging thoughts of home that really get to me sometimes. It takes a lot of willpower for me to push the thoughts aside. It can be consuming if I let it. I miss people, family, my girlfriend, my buddies. I start to doubt myself. What am I doing this for? But then I manage to snap out of it. I have to keep better control of my mind. Thoughts are powerful. I've got to rein in my doubts and fears. I need to take each day as it comes and live it to the utmost. Otherwise, I'm making this journey more difficult for myself than it needs to be. It's a new day. I'm going to do some traditional tourist stuff and check out some of the museums. I met the other guy in my room, Jack from Calgary. He's a bull rider, clean-cut cowboy. He keeps to himself and doesn't care for us hippie folk. I mentioned the other guys said he went to Woodstock, and he shook his head. Nah. Come to think of it, they said this guy Jack was fun with a lot of laughs. I get it. The joke's on me. I'm soaking up a little culture as I walk through the Rijksmuseum, the National Art Museum of the Netherlands. I've seen about 24 Rembrandts in here. The Night Watch. The stunning beauty of artistry is everywhere. As I exit the museum, I head towards Vondel Park, the huge park in the middle of Amsterdam. What a wonderful place. I locate an empty bench to stretch out on and observe the people walking through the park. A woman walks by me with a strange-looking animal on a leash. Excuse me, ma'am, could you tell me what kind of an animal your pet is? It's a nose bear, she replies. It looks more like a mutant raccoon with part monkey and a little bit of anteater thrown in. Very strange. I've been carrying my journal notebook along with me, so I decide to draw a picture of this strange animal while I sit on a bench here in the park. The next place for me to visit on my tourist day is Rembrandt's house. I walk through the home, filled with beautiful sketches from the master. Just before arriving here, I smoke some hashish as I leave Vondel Park. I'm very high right now as I get into the exhibit. I'm not a true art aficionado, but I can still appreciate the sheer genius that produced this work. As I exit the museum at closing time, I decide to head in a zigzag direction that takes me back to my home base. What a freak scene. Just a different day. Wow, people really enjoy themselves in an unrestrained, hedonistic way. Just going near the red light district can be too much at times. It's like I've entered some naughty paradise. I choose to pass up the revelry opportunity this time and keep on moving down the streets of Amsterdam. I notice a guy sitting on the curb around the corner from my hotel. He holds something they call a chillum in his hand. It's some kind of an Indian funnel pipe that I've never seen before. I watch the guy inhale. "Hello, you mind if I join you? I'm Steve from USA." I extend my hand to shake. The man exhales the smoke and reaches out to shake my hand. In broken English, I can make out "Henrique from Marseille" as the guy motions for me to sit next to him and shares in his chillum of hashish. I take a seat on the curb and puff on a pipe. Choke a bit. Do it again. After a few more hits, I'm flying high. Real high. So high, I am blasted. I stand up and start walking in a daze. I head for my hotel entrance and locate a restroom in the lobby. I go into a toilet stall. The room is spinning. I think I'm going to get sick. I'm so dizzy. I sit with my head down and my eyes closed for a half hour as the room spins gaily around me. When the spinning finally lets up, I exit the restroom and make my way to my floor and down the hall to my room. I'm safe in bed for the night. I think my problem is tobacco. I noticed the guy mixed hashish with tobacco like many people do around here. Me and tobacco don't get along. The spinning starts back up as I drift off to unconsciousness for the night. Here I am to greet another day in Amsterdam. Much of the food here is very delicious. The patat frites are really good, served with a thick yellow mayonnaise instead of ketchup. I also love the various cheeses and milk. I really dig this place. This morning at 9, I'm going on a Heineken brewery tour. The Klein trolleys are leaving all the time, so I've got to get ready and get moving. Wow, that was a crazy head trip I was on last night. I walk out to the front lobby, and I meet up with 3 guys walking to the trolley from the hotel to the brewery. "Hello, I'm Steve," I say. I extend my right hand to shake hands with each of the guys. I'm from Michigan and a veteran of Woodstock Nation. A husky, tall, blond guy is the first to greet me. "My name is Tex. I'm from all around South Texas," he claims. Then the next guy, "I'm Paul from Mississippi." Damien says, "I'm from Utah," says the third guy. "Did you all come here to Amsterdam together?" I ask. "No, man. We each came here on our own," says Tex. "We met up in the red light district and had a great time last night. We decided to meet up for the tour this morning." "Sounds like fun," I say. We get off the trolley as it crosses the Amstel River from the old city, walking just a few blocks to the big gate, and we are at the huge brick brewery. We spend the rest of the morning on the brewery tour. Then in the early afternoon, we drink free beer after free beer and munch on elaborate cheeses and cold meats while sitting in the hospitality garden of the brewery. Nice, easy-flowing conversations with the guys and the other people. I feel a good buzz at just about the time I've had enough. Our group wobbles back to the tram. By the time we walk from the tram to the Kabul Hotel, it's quite obvious to everyone that we are all pretty inebriated. So now it's time for another visit to the red light district with my raucous newfound friends. Tex pulls out some hash that we pass around in a pipe as we make our way down the narrow road that opens up into the Hooker Haven. The Mississippi guy starts howling like a hound dog, and he keeps it up throughout our walk. Damien and Tex run toward a prostitute that just opened her window and turned her red light on and has yet to have anyone in line. Tex wins the race, so Damien goes running down the row to the next available prostitute. All the while, Paul continues his howling at the moon. The two of us continue walking past the busy windows of women using their marketing skills to draw a crowd. Then Paul scatters off to a window sight that draws his attention. I continue wandering through the corridors of people out to play. I want to play too, but I'm not going to pay. My relationships with females is on my mind every day and fulfilling my sexual desires. My handling of this issue will be an interesting fact of my travels. It's now October, and I've been in Amsterdam for a week. Tonight I went to Cosmos, a private club about 3 blocks from the hotel. It is the hip scene around here, drawing many students from the Kabul Hotel. Along with mixed drinks, Cosmos offers a macrobiotic food menu and meditation classes. People are dancing everywhere to the music, on the dance floor, at the tables, in the lines of the bathrooms. I tried to get in here a couple nights ago, but I couldn't because the place was filled to capacity and no one else was allowed in. Now I can see firsthand what all the excitement is about. Beautiful, gorgeous women are everywhere. What an intense, heavy trip. I find myself moving, my body dancing to the rhythmic beats wherever I go. I dance with several groups of women. Life is good. I decide to leave the nightclub and saunter through the city. The air is soft and warm. I walk in meditation along the swiftly moving streets. I feel the flow of the city like it is a gentle stream. I sit by a canal that leads out to the Amstel River and watch the soothing flow of the waterway. My state of mind is at the stoner level once again. I continue walking into fine areas of the city, eventually winding up back at my hotel. I go into the bar for last call. A short, voluptuous blonde from Sweden approaches me in her broken English. "Good time night?" she says. "Oh yeah, great time tonight. I'm Steve," I say as I reach out to shake her hand. When she offers her hand, I grasp her and pull it to my mouth and kiss the top of her hand. Never did that before, but it seemed like the right thing to do. The Swedish girl giggles at me for a second, then pulls her hand back and looks to the other side of her as a nice-looking Italian guy moves in on my turf. I'm ignored by both of them as if I don't exist. I look out at other dwindling patrons in the bar as the barkeep announces closing time. I spot a beautiful woman from Switzerland named Susan. I met her before and saw her around several times as she stays at the Kabul. She's a tall, beautiful brunette, statuesque. She's looking back at me as our eyes lock on each other. I'm ready for her to look away and move on, but she stares me down and smiles. I feel my heartbeats jump in my chest. Why is this woman even paying attention to me? I can be a bold guy at many things in life, but a beautiful woman paying attention to me causes me to go numb sometimes. This whole dilemma is just a tremendous lack of confidence in myself that creeps up now and then at the most inopportune times. Susan walks over to me at the bar and says, "Hello." I freeze up. I'm floored by her initiative. She stands there and stares at me with a big, pearly white, beautiful smile. The bar is clearing out, and we are the last patrons. It feels good to be hit up on by an impressive young lady. Great for my ego and confidence, but yet I'm blowing it as I remain frozen, unable to speak. "Are you from America?" she says. I nod. "I'm from Switzerland. You should come visit me sometime. Can I touch your hair?" I nod. She combs her fingers through my red curly locks. I feel goosebumps raising in my legs and arms. She bends in close to my face and softly kisses me on the lips as she still rakes her fingers through my hair. "Time to go. The bar is closed," says the bartender. My mind is going off with thoughts of sex. It is truly ridiculous in this segregated student hotel to even consider some kind of romantic ploy. This fact floods my mind as I try to consider other options, but there are none. Finally, I blurt out, "I will come to visit you in Switzerland if you will give me your address and phone number." Susan obliges my request by writing her information on a bar napkin. We walk out of the bar into the hotel lobby and share a small embrace with a passionate, soft kiss. Then she goes off to the female side of the hotel as I turn to look for my room on my side of the building. I'm filled with excitement and frustration as I go to bed for the night. Today, I'm going for another walk around the town. I purchase a harmonica to keep me company as I stroll through the streets. I buy a sandwich for lunch and sit down by a canal to eat and continue blowing into my new harmonica. I notice a record shop across the street. After I finish my lunch, I head over to the store. I go into a booth and listen to side one of the album, Aftermath by the Rolling Stones, a huge favorite of mine. The album starts with the song, Mother's Little Helper, and ends with Going Home, instead of the cuts on the American released album. What a drag it is getting old. Kids are different today. I hear every mother say, Mother needs something today to calm her down. And though she's really not ill, there's a little yellow pill. She goes running for the shelter of a mother's little helper, and it helps her on her way, gets her through her busy day. I sure do love the Stones. Next record album. I sure do love the Stones. Next record album I put on the turntable is the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We're Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We're sorry, but it's time to go. We'd like to thank you once again. Sgt. Pepper's one and only Lonely Hearts Club Band is getting very near the end. I sit there in the little booth at the record store and listen to several more songs from the Beatles. The power of music on culture in society is amazing. I feel the vibrations of sound and lyrics connect right to my soul. Rock and roll has the power to move the masses. I leave the record store and head back out amongst the throngs in the streets. I need to head home to get ready for tonight's activities. I'm going to the Paradiso, an old opera house set in a park in which the seats have been removed for hippie-type gatherings and music events. Many people at the Kabul Hotel talk about what a great time everyone has at the Paradiso. I shall find out for myself. When I get back to my room at the hotel, I catch a little nap to rest up for tonight. My roommates are gone, so I take advantage of the quiet time. Later in the day, as early evening comes, I'm ready for my night out at the Paradiso. Upon entering the establishment, I immediately notice the Hog Farm, a commune from the States who have hit the road. I love these people. I met the hog farmers at Woodstock last year. In fact, I camped out next to their spread. The hog farmers fed everybody and kept the event non-violent through their please force. They even had a setup for medical situations and talking people down from extreme highs. And they started each morning off with yoga. The hog farmers were a big part of my Woodstock memories, and here I am to be reunited with this great group of people once again. The leader of the hog farmers is Hugh Romney. What a killer diller of a guy. He's a clown prankster leading the show. I hear his name is Wavy Gravy, coined by B.B. King. That's his new name. The name fits this silly guy to a T. A band finishes up their set, and the place is abuzz. Wavy Gravy takes the microphone on stage. Hello, all my crazy friends and people. The Hogsters are here to show you all a good time. A crescendo of cheers rises up in the Paradiso. Wavy Gravy makes some funny clown faces, and everybody erupts with laughter. He doesn't have any front teeth, and he looks hilarious when he does his prankster smile. We're going to celebrate a birthday today for one of our gals from the Hog Farm commune. Come on, Teresa, honey, says Wavy Gravy as he motions to a group of people off stage. The birthday girl is wearing a clear plastic loose-fitting suit, naked underneath, as she comes on the stage next to Wavy. The suit has long plastic straws coming from each appendage. Several women from the commune surround the birthday girl, pouring bottle after bottle of creamy, light chocolate liquid into the open neck to fill the suit. All of us at the Paradiso watch and cheer as each appendage is filled with the substance. Okay, everyone, continues Wavy Gravy, we're going to have a fla party to celebrate the occasion with Teresa. She will walk around in her birthday suit, and everyone is to find a straw on her body and taste some fla. You will love it. Fla, fla, fla. The birthday girl walks off stage, and everybody descends on her. She is laughing so hard that it is tough for her to stand straight. She must have over 20 heads of people on her every part of her body, sucking on the straws connected to her suit. Wavy continues, inciting the crowd. Fla, fla, fla. We're having a fla party, everyone. Let's sing happy birthday. The crowd of people at the Paradiso join in a birthday song for Teresa. Some of the makeshift plastic suit starts to break away with so many people grabbing at it. The hog farmers then start filling up bottles and cups with fla to pass around. I get on my knees and locate a spot in her suit that still has some fla. So I stick my straw in the appendage and suck away. A delicious, creamy, cool, light chocolate flows down my throat. The crazy hog farmers have transformed this event into a mad fla party. The suit finally breaks away as the birthday girl stands naked before us all in her glory. Big, beaming smiles and laughter broadcast from everywhere. Thereafter, a band comes on, and the music fills the air. Everyone is dancing everywhere. This is the greatest group of mad freaks I've ever partied with. Wow, I danced nonstop for hours, melding with the music, the people, the rhythmic beats. Everyone is shoulder to shoulder in all directions as I squeeze through to get some fresh air outside. I am dazed and mystified, literally hypnotized as I break away from the scene. I go out to the streets and stumble towards my hotel, not having any idea what time it is. When I get to the Kabul, I discover I'm locked out for the night. It's 5 after 2. I just missed the curfew. Now I can't get back to my room till 7 in the morning. I decide to walk to the train station, which is near the hotel. The train station is shut tight, no access till the morning. I notice a band of 5 desperados sitting in front of a little cafe trailer parked in front of the train station. They are all huddled together as it is getting cold. I can feel the winter nip is coming. Hey guys, do you know any place that's open tonight? They each look up to me, but nobody answers. Then they start talking amongst themselves, and I can't make out what language they speak. Probably Dutch. Finally, one of the guys addresses me. None of my friends can speak English. I have a limited vocabulary in English. The train station opens up at 6. Thanks, man, I respond. Your English is fine. It's tough trying to communicate around here when nobody speaks my language. Thanks for the heads up. I will just keep walking and be on my way. I wave goodbye to the group of guys, and they all wave back as I keep moving down the street. As I walk back towards my hotel, I notice 2 American hippie freaks looking lost with nowhere to go. Hey, you guys get locked out too? Yeah, man, says one of the guys, a tall, blonde, fully bearded fellow. The other guy, a short, stocky fellow with a dark complexion, long hair, and full beard, ignores me and won't even make eye contact. Do you have any idea where to go at this time? Inquires the talkative fellow. No, man, I'm just like you guys, lost. Everything seems closed till the morning. We're going to have to rough it through the night, I say. The 3 of us walk the street together, mostly in silence. The short guy does not like me for some reason. If looks could kill, I'd be dead right now. He keeps whispering or talking under his breath to his buddy, and I can't make out what he says. At last, we come upon an open business establishment, a snack shop. As we enter the premises, we meet up with 3 other fugitives of the night, a guy and two gals. You guys are stuck out in the cold for the night also? I inquire. The guy answers, we just hitched a ride from Paris to Amsterdam and arrived about 3 in the morning. Then we found this spot to wait for things to open up. We are on a student exchange from America. We're studying in Paris for a year. Thought it would be good to check out Amsterdam for a few days while we have a break from classes. This city's amazing, man. So much happening and so much to do, I say. The two girls are very tired as they cuddle up close to each other on their chairs with their heads leaning against each other. The two guys I came with are sitting at a table several feet from us as they do not seem to want to talk. Everyone is very tired. Nothing like waiting for the sun to come up on a deep, dark, cold night with no place to go. Finally, we get kicked out of the snack shop at 4:30 a.m. The guy at the eatery points down the street to a cafe. The Mazel Tov Cafe will open at 5 a.m., he says. So the six of us, the two guys and three students and myself, walk out together towards the general Target the guy pointed to down the street. When we arrive, the cafe is still not open. We wait around by the door. A plump, tube-shaped woman stands by the door looking at her watch. We tired souls huddle together in the cold, trying to draw sympathy from her to let us in. But she stares back at her watch and says something to someone behind her, ignoring our silent pleas. Finally, 5 in the morning arrives, and the lady opens the Mazel Tov Cafe for business. I'm sorry. I must apologize to all of you. My license will be taken away if I open even 1 minute early. I've been warned and fined in the past, and I will not do it again. So please accept my apologies for making all of you wait in the cold, says the lady proprietor. It feels so good to be inside the warm establishment. I'm still shivering from the cold and overexhaustion. It has been quite an ordeal. Each of us find a booth for ourselves and lounge at a table. The waitress brings us coffee, tea, and danishes. Everyone is too tired to talk. I close my eyes and start to nod off. I jerk back awake when I hear something from the kitchen crash to the floor. A glass or a cup or dish, perhaps. When 7 a.m. arrives, the kind lady proprietor jostles each of us from our slumbers. We pay our bills and walk back out into the morning streets. Daybreak is here. The two guys I met on the street hurry up ahead of me to the Kabul. I look at the 3 non-curfew violators who just arrived a few hours earlier. Do you guys have a place to stay? I ask. Not really, says the guy. We were hoping to find someplace real quick, though. Do you know of a place nearby? Sure, come with me, and I'll see if there's a room for you at the Kabul Hotel. Just a few blocks away, and we arrive at my home base. The 3 students get rooms as the 2 women go to the segregated area of the hotel, and the guy gets a place on my side of the hotel down the hall for me. I head to my room, fall into my bed, and sleep most of the day. It's nighttime in Amsterdam. I'm all rested up to go out and have a fine, good time. I walk out of the hotel lobby into the busy streets. I think I know this guy I see on the streets. Hey man, how are you? We've met before. You look familiar. My name is Steve. Yeah man, I recognize you too. We were on the Air Icelandic flight to Luxembourg, he says. Plus I saw you at the Paradiso last night. I'm glad. Oh, you were there too? Wasn't that flop party from the hog farmers incredible? Oh yeah man, I'm going back to the Paradiso again tonight. You can join me if you'd like, says Glenn. Sure thing, man. Don't mind if I do. We walked a few blocks to the establishment. Glenn breaks out some hash, and I supply the pipe. We toke a few times before entering the Paradiso. Hey, man, I know a guy inside, an English fella, and he can get some acid, says Glenn. You want to try some LSD tonight? I pause for a few seconds and ruminate on the question. I've only done LSD a couple times in my life, and frankly, it wasn't that big a deal to me. I remember feeling this deep pit in my stomach afterwards. Despite these memories, I'm not in agreement. I'm ready to party, man. Hell yes, let's do it, I say. When we get in, wait in the corner of the bar, off to the side, and I will go to find the guy and come back with the stuff, says Glenn. We enter the Paradiso, and it is packed with revelers, just like yesterday. Glenn goes off to find his contact. I get a beer and wait off to the side by a wall, away from the throng. A band is on stage kicking out some tunes, and people are dancing everywhere. 10 minutes later, and Glenn reappears out of the chaos. I got it, he says. Here you go. He hands me a small green tablet. He has one for himself. We both put the little pill in our mouth. I stick it under my tongue and let it dissolve. Everything is calm at first. I take a sip of beer. I feel high, slightly buzzed. I'm happy. I roam off into the crowd away from Glenn. The lights, the music, the people everywhere lift my spirits higher. I'm doing fine, enjoying the night. All of a sudden, something happens. I know I'm hallucinating. I see flashing images in my mind, nothing substantial that I can even make sense of, just fast, flashing colors, changing vibrations, thought energies moving swiftly. I need to slow down and find someone to talk to focus my mind. I see a beautiful dark-haired brunette woman standing before me. Hello, how are you? I'm Steve from the USA. I'm Miriam from Birmingham, England. I'm here in Amsterdam for a quick visit with some friends. Then I'm off to Morocco. Wow, that's heavy. I'm thinking of heading to Morocco myself, too. Really? What a coincidence. All at once, I can't speak or communicate. I've lost my ability to talk. Miriam's face starts changing into distorted shapes. I can't look at her anymore. I must move. My trip is becoming too heavy in my head for social engagements. I'm really getting off now. Wow. I've tapped into some mental energy beyond anything I've ever experienced. I see visions of the end of the world. All the people in the Paradiso coalesce into a tribe in search of God. The rock animal sound of the music is the mechanism that draws each seeker to a connection with God. I lay on the floor of the Paradiso and stare up at the ceiling. The hallucinations keep coming in machine gun speed. I'm tripping real bad. I feel lonely, alienated from society, from people, from myself. I'm getting desperate. I still can't communicate. Who am I? What is happening to me? I continue to experience the God ritual of the tribe of people that surrounds me. I hear a voice inside my head trying to break through to communicate. Is it God? Am I God? I know I am hallucinating, but I can't control what is happening. I feel the adrenaline rushing through my body. I jump up from the floor. I've got to escape. I must run away. I make my way through the throng, looking for an exit door. I run into Glenn, then Miriam, but I can't speak. I'm tripping. I must get away. Finally, I make it to the door and run out into the streets. I can't get away. Wherever I go, there I am. I must run. I'm being chased by God. There's a full moon. God is the moon. I'm a lunatic trip. I'm cracking up. I run down the streets. My voice is back. I can hear myself speak. People run away from me when they see me coming. I try to communicate from my loneliness to strangers in the streets of Amsterdam. All the people have frightened faces that look at me because of my delirium. My trip is freaking people out. I'm freaking out. I can talk, but I can't communicate with anyone. I start running again. Help me. He's after me. God is after me. I shout to anyone and everyone in the street. Help me. He's after me. God's after me. Please, don't let him take me. Hide me from him. Help me. I continue to rant and rave, moving down the streets as people part to let me on my way. I am now Christ. I am Jesus Christ. That was the problem. I think I have it figured out. I'm on a God-complex Christ journey. That's what my hallucinogenic experience is all about, I decide. But I still can't stop the madness going on inside of me. I must escape. Just then, an emergency medical service ambulance pulls up to me as the crowd parts further to let the vehicle draw near to me. Somebody must have called for help. I fall to my knees in the street and stay there. The ambulance crew gets me inside the vehicle. I can't speak again. I close my eyes to images of the outside world. God is still after me. I'm not safe anywhere, I realize. At the hospital, I'm taken to an examining room while the hallucinogenic God trip keeps on. I try to take my clothes off. I must have my clothes off. Sir, please keep your clothes on, says the nurse. She throws a blanket over me as I continue to get naked. Sir, you must keep your clothes on, she insists. I am lost in utter alienation to the planet. I no longer feel like I am Christ. I am nothing. I can speak again. I had LSD and I'm on a bad trip, I blurted out. I got a hold of myself from the tortuous experience and spoke with coherence for a few brief seconds in hopes of saving myself. The hospital staff gives me a sedative, I believe. Thereafter, and the hallucinations cease a bit as I settle down. Eventually, they let me go and call a cab for me to take me back to my hotel. I think that is the final straw for me in Amsterdam. I'm ready to move on with my wandering journey.